here for the Truvisionaries 2026. And today I'm delighted to be joined by Hector Hughes. Hector, how are you?
Leo, I'm delighted to be here and honoured to make the list.
Well, congratulations. You're very, very welcome on the list, and we're pleased to have you as part of it. So tell me, we're going to do 3 rapid-fire questions, my friend. Tell me, first of all, how and why did you get started in short-term rentals?
Well, I was an accidental short-term rental founder, no intention to know anything about the industry, no experience in the industry. And I ended up at a meditation retreat in the Himalayas after my own burnout and got back to the UK, went for a drink with my dear friend and now co-founder, Ben. And we spoke about how just inaccessible retreats are. For this, I flew halfway around the world and also very psychologically inaccessible. And really, there's so much benefit in just getting people offline and into nature. And that middle ground between accommodation and retreat really just was not served. And so our whole reason for being as a company is, can we actually get people to spend 3 days offline? And the short-term rentals at cabins just happens to be the vehicle that we ended up doing that through.
Amazing. That's phenomenally interesting. And tell me, with that experience, you're well qualified to answer this question. What is the one thing hosts are not doing that they should start doing today?
I think the big thing is just actually standing for something. There's so much. I think online these days, there's so much noise, especially for hosts, right? Like across all these platforms. And it's easy just to get caught up into just doing what everyone else is doing the things you feel like you have to be doing. But I think the brands or properties that always stand out to me are the ones where it's actually just an embodiment of the host and their personality and their quirks and all of these kind of things and actually what they stand for in the world. So yeah, I think it's really just not being afraid to embody yourself in your property and just let some of your personality shine through.
Yeah, I like that. That's the real antidote to generic hotel listings, right? You're the host. What you're doing is very, very important. That's very good advice, Hector. And tell me, what are some things that we should be thinking about as an industry heading into 2026 and beyond?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, obviously the words on everyone's list or the letters on everyone's list are AI. So I think the interesting opportunity as a counter to that is actually just more of a human touch. I think there is this kind of collective burnout with that whole industry and just with the giddy FOMO around it. So obviously, AI massively transforms what's possible from a tech point of view. But I think on the experience side of things, people are really starting to crave things that are really human. So human connection again. Again, there's a really interesting trend outside of short-term rentals. But for example, Leon, the restaurant chain here in the UK, have just started dialing back from having all screens to order to starting to have human contact again. And I think we'll see a similar thing in the short-term rentals industry where people are like, why do people go away? So much of it now is to have an experience, to have a human experience. I think is going to be an increasing trend to watch.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, fantastic. Hector, congratulations again, my friend. Looking forward to speaking to you more about this.
Great stuff here. Thank you.